Hi everyone, this is Katie from K Studio, bringing you a tutorial today on how to create a testimonial slider just like this one for your Squarespace website. Now to get started, I've already loaded up my Squarespace template here, and I'm going to, once I log in, I'll see this navigation. So I'm going to navigate to the Pages section. From here, you're going to come down to the Not Linked section, click the plus icon, and we're going to add a blog. I'm going to title this Testimonials and hit Enter. Now we're going to add in our testimonials. To do this, we're going to click the plus icon, and it'll bring up this nice pop-up where we could add our testimonial. Now we're using a blog feature on Squarespace, so there's a lot of parts we're going to ignore here. So to start, we're going to add a title. Now this title is only something that you're going to see, so don't think too much about it. Just make sure that your title is something that you can recognize. Then we're going to click Options. From here, we're going to upload a thumbnail image. Now this is that circle image that we see at the top. However, we've used coding to make this image into a circle when it was actually a square when we uploaded it like this. So the first step in being able to create that circular image is to make sure that your thumbnail image is a perfect square. If it's not, just upload that image and click Image Editor. From here, we're going to use the image cropping tool, and we're going to change this image size from original to 1 by 1. This gives us a perfect square, and we can move this square around by clicking and dragging to center the image, and then click Save. Now we'll want to write our client testimonial in this excerpt section. So I'm actually going to go to my Facebook page and copy the last testimonial that one of my clients have given me. Head back to my testimonial blog post, and I'm going to paste it in the excerpt section. Now you'll notice there's some weird spacing issues happening, so I want to make sure that that's cleaned up before I save and publish this post. I'll add some quotations around it, and then finally I'll hit Enter and type their name. I'm also going to add an extra space at the top. So now we have a space, the testimonial, and then the author, along with a perfectly square photo. And the final step for this section is to click Save and Publish. Now you're going to want to do this again and again for all of your testimonials. And just for good measure, I'm going to go over this one more time and add a second testimonial for an example. So we'll click the plus icon, add a title that only we can see, click Options, add our thumbnail, add our testimonial, change any spacing issues. I'm going to put some quotations around this. I'm going to add a space in the beginning, and I'm going to add the author's name at the end. I'm also going to change this rectangular photo into a square photo by clicking Image Editor, selecting the crop tool, changing it from original to 1 by 1, and clicking and dragging that image to center it. Finally, I'm going to click Save. And then once that processes and resizes, I'm going to click Save and Publish. Now that we have two testimonials that are going to be in our blog section, we need to now navigate to the page where we want to implement that slider. So to start, I'm going to go back to Pages. I'm going to create a blank page to test this out on. I'm going to call this Testing Ground 2. And then I'm going to hit Edit on the section that I want to add in that testimonial slider. So once you navigate to your page, the next step is to add in the summary content block. So you can either click the indicator icon or click the plus icon. They'll both bring up the content block menu. Then we're going to scroll down to the summary section, and we're going to use the carousel summary content block. Now that we have this pop-up appearing, we're going to click on Testimonials. And that's the blog we just created. And you can see those 2 testimonials that we just made are featured right here. But this is not the layout that we wanted, so there's still some editing that we need to do. So the next step is to click Layout. From here, I'm going to remove this featured text, which shows here at the top. Change the aspect ratio to auto. Change the items to row down to 1, so we only see 1 testimonial at a time. I'm also going to change the text alignment to center. That's my personal preference. And let's see, I'm going to change the text size to large. Okay. Now the final thing you're going to customize in this summary block is by clicking display, and we're going to unclick show title because we don't need that title there. We're also going to scroll down to primary metadata. That's what's showing down here at the bottom. And we're going to click none. Oops, didn't mean to click that. And now we've centered the text. We've gotten rid of the title. We've made sure that the date can't show. We've also customized that we can only see 1 testimonial at a time. And now we're going to click apply. Now it's all looking great, but that photo is still a square. So let's save our work so far. And now we're going to add in some custom code to make this square into a perfect circle. So head back to your Squarespace main navigation menu and click Design. Then we're going to want to go to the bottom of this menu and click Custom CSS. Now, don't worry, you don't have the code yet. This isn't something that you need to know. And again, if you'd like, this code is available for copy and paste on the blog related to this video, which will be linked below. So to start out, the first thing I like to do, and this is just my personal preference and a rule of thumb for me, is to create sections in my coding area to help me understand where different things are by adding a title. So I do /*/, and then I'm going to put in testimonial slider. I'm going to follow it up with /*/. Now, if you don't do this, it will make it so any of the code that follows doesn't work. So you want to make sure to actually do this /*/ or just slash, but you need to close it out, basically. The next thing we want to do is we're actually going to type in some custom code. And you'll see as I type this in, it's going to change the properties on our display on the right. So to start out, we're going to do /summary -thumbnail img. Now this allows us to target that picture. We're going to do a curly bracket and we're going to hit enter. Now once I type this bracket here, I just typed it in this one and it automatically gave me the second one. So I dropped down a line so that I can type in between them. Now I'm going to type in border-radius : 50% semicolon. Great, it's a circle, but we need to size it down because it is way too big for right now. So now we're going to add in some padding around the image to make it a bit smaller. So we're going to type padding : 5px for pixels, semicolon. Below that, we're going to type in max-width, so the width of the image, : 20% of its original size, semicolon. But now we want it to be centered. So we're going to add a margin, margin, : and we're going to type in auto, semicolon. Perfect. Now there's just a little bit more to add. We're going to now target the entire container, the entire block. We're going to type /summary -thumbnail -container. We're going to use that curly bracket again, drop it down one line so we can type in between. And we're going to type in pointer events : none, ! important, so that our browser knows what to read and we need to read it a specific way. And then we're going to finish that off with a semicolon. The last step is to then click Save. So now we have a testimonial where we've got a custom image with custom code to make sure that it's circular. We've got our testimonial down below and our author, and we've got this nice little arrow section where we can click back and forth to read different testimonials. And that's it. I hope this tutorial was easy to follow. As always, if you have comments, suggestions, you want to see some new tutorials on different things, please leave your information and comments in the section below. And otherwise, hope you have a great week.